What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Masashi. I have been creating content here in Japan for almost 8 years now. And today I want to talk about a plugin called Dehancer for DaVinci Resolve. So for those of you who don't know what Dehancer is, it is basically a color grading tool that gives you the film-like look. Dehancer calls this film emulating software. So Dehancer reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to make a video on their product. I was very interested in it. I knew about the software itself way before I started using DaVinci, when I was still using Premiere Pro as a main editing software. And I was very interested in how much, what kind of the potential it had in the color grading world. So when they offered me if I wanted to make a video on it, I said yes, why not? Anyways, if you gain something from this video, like always, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future video like these. With that out of the way, I'm going to show you how I use Dehancer to color grade my footage. So let's get in. Okay, so we're in DaVinci Resolve right now. There's the color panel right here. This footage is basically the footage that I filmed a while back when I went back to Iwate with my partner and my son to see a festival that was going on during that time. I filmed this in Sony FX6 on S-Log. Before I start color grading, I'm going to group all these footage together. So I'm gonna choose every footage, right click, and then go into add into new group. So from here, you just name it whatever you want. I'm gonna name it FX6 4. And then these green chain icon will come up. These show that you are in the same group. To be honest, this is just one camera footage, so there's no really any need to group them together. But I want to grade everything at once, rather than like copy and pasting every time. So this is what I'm gonna do. I've been using this method since I watched a video from Colin Kelly. He is a very good colorist. His color grading tutorial is very in-depth and easy to understand. And I wasn't very good at color grading at all, but after watching his video, seeing his method, really opened my eye to how I color grade. So definitely check out his videos if you're having trouble color grading, or if you're interested in color grading in general. It's a good place to start. He really explains the color grading process very well, and this process I'm doing right now is the process that he uses as well. So I changed it up a little bit, but of course, right here, after you group it, so there's 4 tabs right here. Usually there's only 2 if you don't group them together. Once you group them, there's 4 tabs. So the first tab is basically a group pre-clip. This will affect all your clip right here. If it's yellow, it affects all your clip. The second tab is just your clip. So just this clip in general, it will affect only that clip. So if you adjust your highlights or whatever, gamma, it will change this clip only. But say if you do it on this one, it'll affect the whole clip right here, as you can see. I'll be using all 3 tabs right here, 1, 2, and 3. 3 will be the main one that will be having all the color grade that I usually put in. The first tab right here, I'm only gonna put color space transform right here. So right now, the color space that I'm working on right here on DaVinci is, if you look at my color management, the color space is DaVinci YRGB. I don't use separate space in gamma. Timeline color is DaVinci Y Gamut Intermediate, and the output color is Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. That's the color space I'm using it, and that'll be what I'll be using. So yeah, color space transform right here. Input color space, you'll put in. So this was filmed in Sony S-Log, so Sony S Gamma 3.Cine. Cine is what I used, and then Sony S-Log 3 is what I filmed it in. And then right here, this is the color timeline color space. So it'll be a DaVinci wide gamut, and then DaVinci intermediate right here. That'll be all what I'll be doing right here. I'm gonna name it just to be organized, CSD. And I'm gonna go jump right into the third tab right here. This is also a group tab, so it affects the whole clip right here. The first node that I'm gonna do will be Denoiser. This is a node that Dehancer recommends on their site as well. If you check their site, they have a specific setting that they recommend you using when using Dehancer. But of course, if you have your own way that works, definitely it's okay to use that as well. They have a place for you where you can start, so it's a good place to take a look at it, try it out, and then see if it works out for you. If not, just do it in your own method as well. It's very flexible tool, so you can do whatever you want with it. DaVinci does a good job with the color grading as well. So if you know how to use it, definitely do your own method. But if you're new to color grading in general, Dehancer has a very good they explain it very well on why they recommend this way of node tree. So definitely take a look at it and try it out. But I'm gonna be doing my own way of doing it. So this will be it. Denoiser, I'll put it in the first one, and then the next one will be white balance, and then the next node will be exposure. And then the node after that will be detail, which would be the tab right here, mid detail. And then the next tab will be my level. The next tab right here, I'm going to use layer node. For this one, the top one will be my background, and then the bottom one will be the skin of people. And then this one, I have the last three node right here. This one will be color space transform, the final version, to make it Rec 709. And this will be Dehancer. And then the last one will be whatever I need to make final adjustments with. Right here. So 11 node tree is what I use usually for my color grading. So first off, what I do is turn this back into Rec 709. So DaVinci wide gamut, DaVinci intermediate, and then Rec 709, and then Gamma 2.4. And then after that, I change the tone mapping to luminance mapping, and then turn the custom max input on, and then crank this up all the way to 10,000. That's the color space transform for final result, and you get this. As it is, it looks really good. But this is where I'm gonna put Dehancer in. So when you install Dehancer, it will be in the FX tabs right over here. And if you go all the way down, you have a film emulation right here. This is where Dehancer will be. And so you say clip it, click Dehancer, and then put it into Dehancer node. When you put it in, you see the color grade, not the color grade, but you see the emulation done for you. This is like like a default setting that they have. So on the tab right here, basically, I'm just gonna click most of these right here, and everything will be collapsed down to make it much more easy to see. So when you see first here the input tab right here, it has it says Rec 709 right now because that's the color space. I'm finalized it right now in the color space, so it'll be Rec 709. But if you don't use color space transform, you can use this to get to change your color space into kind of similar to what color space transform does. You could do in Dehancer as well. To be honest, I really don't recommend it because it's really hard to use. It's kind of, I'm still understanding how to use it without color space transform. But for now, the best result you could get is use color space transform and then use Dehancer, make it Rec 709, and then just put the setting in Rec 709 and just don't mess with it at all. But yeah, this is all as it is. Next will be the film. When you enable it, it'll give you this. They have a lot of film emulation right here. Just the profile itself, they have so many to choose from. So what I usually do is I just look at it and then see what I like, and then I just go from there. So I really like Kodak film look, so I'm just gonna use Kodak Ultramax 400 will be the film I'll be using. Next, I'm gonna be going to film the print tab right here. This you could decide the profile of the film that you chose. So when you enable it, it's linear right now, so you don't see anything. But you see other ones right here, like Cineon Film, Fujifilm, Kodak, and Kodak 2383 and Kodak Endura. So when you click on all these, they give you different type of look. Oh, that's really cool. That, and you see all that. So you just basically choose whatever that kind of you like, in a way. I actually like this, the Fujifilm 3513, so I'll be choosing that. So after that, I'm gonna go back into Film Developer and then kind of mess with the contrast right here. Enable that before you do anything. Then after that, film compression. This film compression basically affects your highlight mainly. So say you have clipped highlight that you want to change. Enable it before you do anything. As you can see, what was clipped before, you can see the highlight coming back. Highlight being compressed and then all the details coming back right here. What I would say is just don't overdo it. This can get really, it really does affect the whole other footage. So try to see the balance when you use this tool. Right. After that will be expand. And this is it. And after that, I'm gonna go to color head. This is the white balance wheel, white balance tool, or white balance tab, or correct the correct way we say it. White balance tab. Yeah. Let me see here. I'm gonna just eyeball it. See. Get the look that I want. That should be it. So I wanted to make this very vintage, kind of old style film look. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add film grain on it. But before I do, you have to denoise your original footage before you add the film grain, or else it's not gonna look as good. as it should. So get rid of whatever noise that there might be within the footage. So go into DaVinci's denoiser, which is right here on this tab right here. Frames, I just choose 3. That's even if you have if you don't have a high-end computer, 3 is the best place to do it. If you want to get rid of it really well, then go higher, but 3 works out for me. And then for the motion type, I just choose better, and then Luma, I choose 20 as a default. This usually works for most of the footage. It gets rid of a lot of the noises in it. So it looks like it's doing well right here. So I'm not gonna add the film grain right now. I'm just gonna tweak the colors a little, because you see, if you can see it, there are some areas that's kind of dark, too dark. I'm gonna adjust it a little bit. So okay. Maybe adjust a little bit of the white balance. I'm just eyeballing everything. This is preference based. So whatever you think that looks good, or whatever you look going for, just go for it. And exposure, not gonna mess with this too much. I already did it in Dehancer. So the detail area that I'm messing with right now, if you can see it closely, it affects the sharpness in a way. So if you make it minus, then it kind of gives it that more of a kind of like dreamy look in a way. I just want to make it subtle. Hold it back, or maybe hold it back a little. Looks good right there. Level, what I do is I make editable spine to adjust it as an S curve. So for you to do that, go into the 3 tab right here, and then click on editable splines, and then they'll enable that. You go in right here. That looks really good. Now, okay, perfect. Background and skin on this clip in general, on this footage project in general, I'm not gonna mess with it. Right, so now the reason I'm gonna show you the reason why I grouped this footage. I want to color grade the footage as 1, and then I want to adjust it a little bit. So in order to do that, you go into the 2nd tab right here. So this is a little dark, so you want to raise the shadows or the light a little bit more. I want to make it brighter. So this is the tab you do it in. This only if it's in the visual clip, like I mentioned before. I'm gonna do that. Brighter now, perfect. The highlight is not clipping. Nice. A little bit more here. The reason I'm raising shadows is because if I mess with all these other ones, it kind of like starts to collapse. So shadow, subtle, it's like a subtle brightness exposure raise. So it's a best thing to use in my case. So this one, the color seems a little different from the other footage, so I'm just gonna change the color a bit here. Get it close to the other footage as possible. And that looks good, I think. Here, raise it up a little bit more. And then here. Kind of lower this down. It's kind of clipping. And raise the brightness a bit. Up the shadow. The red looks good. Changing up the color right here, and raise this shadow a bit. A little bit right here as well. This looks so good. This looks really good. This looks like a film right here. Raise this up. All right. Cool. All right. So with all that out of the way, you did your micro adjustments. Now this is where I put in the film grain right here. So I'm going to enable it. So yeah, 35 millimeter ISO to 50. There's a lot to choose from, and then as you go lower and lower, the more heavy I think the film grain becomes, and then the higher you go, it becomes a little bit more subtle. So I'm gonna make it to the point where it's kind of obvious, which is kind of not obvious. I'm gonna make it 65. Yeah, 65 ISO 50 is good, I think. So next, halation. Do I need it? Take a look at footage. Maybe not. So no halation. Bloom. Oh yeah, I think bloom is good to have. I'm gonna make it 35, super 35, and then leave the amplify as it is. Next, film damage. I don't know if you can see it, but let's see. This does a really good job of emulating a film damage look. It's subtle, but you can see it pop up right here and there. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna raise it all the way up to 50. So film damage will be 16 by super 16, and then 50 for the total amount. Next will be the film breath, film breathe. Enable that. This gives it more of that old vintage film look, I think. So yeah, I'll leave it as 16. Vignette. I think I'll turn it on. Raise down the exposure, bring it down a bit. Oh, it's turning out very well. All right. So I think that's everything right here. So all I did was choose my film, and then after that choose my print, and then go back, adjust my film developer, film compressor, and then expand. And after that, white balance, color head, and then I went and then graded my own on DaVinci itself. And then used film grain, no halation, bloom I used, film damage, and film breathe, and then vignette. These are what I use to get this look on my footage using Dehancer. This is the final footage right here. So that was the footage color graded using Dehancer. It turned out better than expected. It was my first time actually using film grain and film damage on a footage itself. Usually for my projects, I don't really use those. So I love how it turned out. I love the flexibility it had. I still really do want to mess around with a lot of the settings that Dehancer provides. So it just shows that I only kind of scratched the surface. So there's a lot to do with this tool. Lot you can do with this tool actually. Anyways, I hope you guys gained something out of this video. This was a really fun video to make using Dehancer, exploring what the capability it has. I did use it for a couple of my projects for a client that I'm working for, and a lot of it turned out very well using Dehancer. It gave me a lot more tool, you could say, a lot more arsenal to kind of give myself a variation of my color grading process. So I'm really grateful for Dehancer for giving me the opportunity to check out their product. But if you are interested in purchasing Dehancer, I do have a 10% coupon. It'll be down in the description. Just type in PLUSALPHAFILM on your checkout and you could get 10% off on your purchase with Dehancer. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, stay hungry, stay creative, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya.